Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to round 10 of the RLH Season 6 Championship here in C1. Tonight, you join us at the circuit de Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium for what should be an excellent Grand Prix. I think we've got 17 drivers this evening, but it should be fantastic. This track, obviously one of the longest, if not the longest, on the calendar. Always quite interesting to watch, though. So, got a little bit of the history up here. It was made following the First World War in 1920. Then in 1970 it faced renovations as it was seen as unsafe, and it returned to Formula 1 in 1983 with the first Grand Prix being won by Alain Prost, otherwise known as that French driver who was pretty good and had that rivalry with Senna. But anyway, we're just going to get our detail up tonight. I'm not sure who that is out first. It looks like, well, we've got Deneen coming out here. But yeah, after quite an interesting race last week, it should be quite good this evening. So I think it's Verstappen actually who's leading us out on track, going through Raidillon. So yeah, this is a very long track. It's nearly 7 kilometers actually all the way round. But yeah, it should be quite interesting. I think we've got a bit of stuff going on in this, category 3, so we'll have to wait and see how that turns out. But anyway, looking at the standings, it's Lakitu on 148 points, which is 18 points ahead of Sem. Sem obviously did benefit a bit from last week, where he came second, I believe. Following him is Verstappen on 121. Then Simsy Danger quite far behind on 87. That's the other Ferrari. Then 64 is Dropye with Larkin on 57. Cohen is on 50. Justice on 47. 2 points behind him is Mr. Skyzy on 45. Then on 29 is Marcus Short. Then Spaghetti Chits on 25. Elon Deneen on 20. QVR Campbell on 15. ILRT Matty on 12. Niels Barca on 4. Maledictus is on 2 with J. Cole, King David and Gary Donegan all on 0. So yeah, we should be in for quite a good Grand Prix this evening. I'm looking forward to it. The qualifying is going to take not too many hot laps probably today, because we have got quite a long distance to travel, but we'll ride on board as we head off on the first hot lap of the evening, heading into the bus stop chicane right here. We're on board with the Alfa Romeo of QVR Verstappen, then out of the chicane heading towards turn 1 of La Source, the right-hander. It's quite wide though, a lot of room for error, especially on the exit. Hopefully we won't see something that happened similar to the 2019 Grand Prix. Obviously, I'm not sure if there will be a 2020 Grand Prix. Anyway, heading through turn 2, then up to turns 3 to 5, which is the Raidillon Eau Rouge section. Then out onto the Camel Straight, through the right-hander of turn 6, all the way along towards turn 7. A very, very long way to go along this track. Relatively heavy braking there, about 75 metres, using all of that curve to his advantage through 8 and 9. Then towards turn 10 of Bruxelles. Obviously I'm going to be cracking out the French accent this evening as we head around a French-speaking track, or partly a French-speaking track anyway, but we're going through the Ardennes Forest tonight. Then heading through the Pouhon next, always quite an interesting turn. Not quite flat out, but you've got to be careful of those curves on the inside in this section here, because they can do very well to upset the balance of your car and send you spinning. Anyway, out of Pouhon through turn 13 and then into turn 14 of Campus, which heads into the right-hander, 90 right-hander of Stavelot, leading on towards the Courbe de Pourfrère, then through Blanchemont, which is turn 17 through 18, flat out on the exit of turn 16 there, all the way up towards turn 19 of the hairpin. You can see flat out, using the downforce to its full advantage here. Anyway, heading into the bus stop chicane for turns 19 and 20, and that will have been a whole lap of the Spa-Francorchamps circuit. So not too bad there actually from QVR Verstappen. It'll be the first lap of today, and that's going to be a 1:42.9, and that is obviously the fastest so far. There's a Red Bull of QVR Cairn being a 1:43.4 just behind him. In fact, squeezing in between the two of them there is QVR Campbell with a 1:43.1. Obviously, everyone going straight in with these softs this evening. Let me just try and find people near the end of the lap, and I think Simsy Danger here, he's going off on a hot lap now, so we'll find other people. Larkin there with a 1:45.1, and that's Niels Barca having a bit of a moment there at Pouhon. Heading onwards then, Lakitu, I think he's on a hot lap as he heads through Blanchemont in his McLaren. Verstappen still holding on to that top spot. And Sem is actually just 0.05 of a second ahead of Matty, so very close between those two drivers. But anyway, up towards the bus stop chicane now goes Lakitu. Let's see what kind of lap time he can get here. Looks to be semi-decent. It's going to be a 1:43.2. Very nice. Only putting him in 7th actually, which goes to show how close these top drivers are. Anyway, Larkin's the only driver on the mediums. Let's see who hasn't set a lap yet. I think we've got Niels Bastard there going into the pits. Drop yay. Oh, that's not good. On the exit of Blanchimont, he's had a bit of an accident there, and that's going to be some front wing damage, and he'll have to repair that. But anyway, we'll go to J. Cole, who's currently going through Pouhon now on a hot lap. He's on the soft tyres. So yeah, it looks like the soft tyres are the way to go, and I believe the strategy is going to be soft to mediums this evening. That's what I've been told from a driver anyway. We'll have to wait and see how that goes. But I'm just going to open my curtain because it's kind of dark in this room. Very nice weather in the UK. Unfortunately, we can't really enjoy it. But that's our fastest second sector there from J. Cole as we go through Blanchimont now in Sector 3. So well, let's see what he can do here because it's looking pretty good for now as he heads towards the bus stop chicane. Let's see what he can do because obviously that's the fastest second sector. Will it be the fastest lap though? It will be close. Obviously, you've got to be careful of the traction on the exit of that turn there, but across the line, it's going to be a 1:43.3. So obviously, the setup probably tailored slightly differently to different parts of the track, and of course, this is such a long track that it is very hard to master. Also, noting that Kvyat Verstappen is the only person who have broken through the 1:43 barrier there with a 1:42.9. So, but it's pretty close though. Especially between Sem and Matty. That is a battle we're going to have to look out for on track later, but also between Justus and Lakitu. That's 0.07 of a second there. So obviously the whole field is spread quite tightly actually. Yeah, but we'll have to wait and see how this race goes. Let's see if we can find someone who's off on a hot lap. I think everyone's actually going out on an out lap, and the problem is the out lap takes so long at this track because of course it is such a long track. That's Lakitu, he's invalidated, and I think he's coming in anyway. But Mr. Skyzy, he's about to go off on a lap, and I think he'll be the first driver. No, he's actually coming in. Sorry about that. Yeah, but it just takes such a long time to do an out lap here compared to most circuits, which is why you get less qualifying time out on track doing laps overall around this circuit, because you still have the same amount of session time, but obviously it's a longer track and it takes longer to get around, so that can hurt you in terms of lap time. It's similar with some other tracks as well, like Baku and a couple of other long tracks, but most of the time it's relatively short, such as Austria, which was probably earlier this season. Yeah, it will have been earlier this season actually, but yeah, I hope everyone's holding up alright in quarantine right now, because I know it can be pretty boring, but luckily I've got this to escape. And that's Deneen heading through the bus stop chicane now, and I think he's the only driver actually on a lap. So yeah, we'll have to go over to Deneen then, who's starting his hot lap now, going through out of La Source in just a second. In that Rocket Williams, so not too bad. Yellow flags in Sector 1 though. I think that's just from the Renault pulling over. That might have been Marcus. Yeah, I think it was. But yeah, anyway, going up out of Raidillon already, very quick. So yeah, remember Raidillon Eau Rouge, that kind of malarkey. Probably won't be making any jokes about that today because it's kind of old now, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, anyway, heading through the next few turns here. Still in Sector 1, but Sector 1, a lot of flat out. In fact, most of this track is flat out. Actually in Sector 2 there, so Sector 1 ends just at the braking zone after the Kemmel Straight. But yellow flags, and that's Marcus Short actually out of the session. I've just seen that, so he's not going to be too pleased about that. And that looks like it was I'm bad at remembering the turns here. There's so many of them. Yeah, that was a turn at the at Les Combes of turns like 5, 6, and 7, I believe. As you can see, he's 7, 8, and 9 even. Yeah, I'm going to have to try and remember these a little bit better. But it's been a long couple of weeks. I mean, we're already in week 3, but that's the fastest second sector of anyone so far from Deneen. He's yet to set a lap, so let's see what he can do here. We haven't seen what his potential is during this session, so it should be quite good. I'm looking forward to what kind of lap time he gets as he heads through Blanchimont now towards the bus stop chicane. In fact, I'm going to turn up the game volume slightly, just so that you can actually hear the cars as well. And it shouldn't be too loud. If it is, do let me know in the comments. But across the line goes Deneen, and it's going to be a 1:44.2 on the soft tyres, and that's going to put him in 13th. We've got 17 drivers this evening, so not too bad at all. Anyway, Got a bit of traffic going on here, actually, for King David. And we've got Dropier heading through Blanchimont now. I think that's the car in his way. Yeah, Spaghetti Chips, he's going to move out of the way for the driver. Anyway, heading towards the bus stop chicane now. Heavy braking. And it's very important to maximise your exit here. Of course, it's flat up the line. You can see him keeping to the right-hand side there. It's going to be a 143.1. So not too bad there. That's the third driver in the 143.1. So, yeah, definitely very close. And we'll have to wait and see what he can do elsewhere in the session. We're past halfway through the session already now, actually, with 7.5 minutes to go. There goes Mr. Skyzy through turn 2. And that's going to be Cohen Blige up into second there. With that lap time in the Red Bull. So that Red Bull very fast. He's also broken through the 143 barrier, but as does Campbell, squeezing in between Cohen and Verstappen there with a 142.9 as well. So it is definitely very close between these drivers, and that's something we're going to have to look out for a lot during the session. I think it's going to be dry this race, unless I'm about to get informed otherwise. Let me just get the stream up on my phone and I can have a quick look. That's brightness, there we go, that's the volume. Just make sure it's on silent. Racing League Hub, there we go. Sims Danger actually with the fastest lap with a 142.9 as well. So that's the next Ferrari. But here comes Sem across the line, and he's going to take provisional pole with a 142.6. Absolutely blasting it out of the park there. Very fast from the two Ferraris. They're locking out the front row for now, but can they hold it with 6.5 minutes to go? Let's wait and see. Having a look for anyone in Sector 3. It looks like Spaghetti Chips is. Hello, Tygo. Van der Putten. I think that probably butchered that, but welcome to the stream. It should be a good race this evening. I am looking forward to it. You guys probably are as well. Spa-Francorchamps, an absolutely fantastic circuit, and it's always good fun to watch races around. There goes Spaghetti Chips. He's going to move up one position to 7th with the 142.9 as well, just 5 thousandths behind Cohen Blige. But actually Lakitu squeezing in between the two Ferraris, and that roughly 2.5 tenth gap with a 142.7, so pretty fast there. We should have a glass of water. But yeah, it definitely is all hotting up during this qualifying session. That's Matty. He's up by 2 tenths in that sector, in the second sector it looks like, but heading towards the line. Let's see if he can improve. No, he's going to go into the pits actually. Heading through the first couple of turns off the Camel Straight goes Mr. Skyzy there. I'm always forgetting the names of the turns here. Lecombe. I'll probably remember that one now because of the amount of times I've forgotten it. But let's see who else is out on track. Just going to flick through, looking at the ERS modes, because that tells you whether they're on a hot lap or not. And it doesn't look like anyone is right now. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and look. It looks like, yeah, Verstappen will probably be coming in. And we'll just have to wait for the next salvo of drivers, I suppose. Yellow flags in Sector 2. And I think that just might be drivers letting each other pass. So, yeah, not too much going on track right now. So we'll have to just wait and see how that all goes. We'll give it a minute, though. Pardon me. Yeah, we'll give it a minute. But, yeah, we've still got a relatively long way to go of this qualifying session. Enough for one more lap probably from the drivers, depending on what time they leave the pits now. And it looks like Justice is on an out lap, so we'll go down to him. There's Dougie Falcons who's actually joined the session. Bit late, so he'll have missed out on qualifying, but obviously not too late because he's still here for the start of the race, and that's arguably the most important thing when it comes to racing. But anyway, arguably that is the most important part, obviously, the race, because that's where the points come in, because of course in Formula 1 there are no points for qualifying, unlike I think a few series do points in qualifying. I can't think of any off the top of my head though. So yeah, that is one thing that F1 doesn't do. Hello Marlon or Lord Elephant. Should be a good race though. So I keep saying that. Hopefully we're not disappointed. We usually aren't though, because this league gives some absolutely fantastic racing, as we've seen in the last few weeks. Had a successful stream last week hopefully we'll have a successful stream this evening and not like Germany, because we did miss out on quite a lot in Germany. Tim Gatorsleben says, go on Niels Varsa. He's currently in 15th. He might be coming out of the pits soon to make a lap. We'll have to wait and see, but there's Justice. He's starting his hot lap now as he heads towards Rayon Eau Rouge. And that's the other Williams of LR Denis actually having a bit of an issue there on the run up from the Rayon section, and that looks like a... Sorry, no, my eyes are playing tricks on me, as they so often do, but already out of Les Combes towards Bruxelles is Justice, so should be quite good. And we've got Dougie Falcon speaking in the game chat. I'm not quite sure what he's saying because obviously we're not in the game chat, but as we continue heading towards Pouhon now, and we'll ride on board for a bit. And you can see there the how important downforce is, especially around this track. You don't want to have too much though, because that definitely does hurt you, especially along the straights such as the Kemmel Straight and Blanchimont. But obviously not enough, and you'll lose a lot of time through Rayon and obviously Pouhon. For some reason the turn names ending with "on" are the most downforce dependent terms, which is quite interesting, but we can continue with the racing or the qualifying, and sounds like Justice slowed down for a moment there, so I'm not quite sure what happened. It sounded like he lifted off along the straight. I don't know if that was just me though. The cross line is going to be a 1:49, so yeah, definitely not what he's looking for. He might have to go for a second lap here, but let's have a look, see who else is on the hot lap. There goes Larkin, he's heading through Blanchimont now. Let's see what kind of lap time he can get. Obviously the fastest is a 1:42.677. That is held by LRSM. Likitu, the championship leader, is in second with Cindy Danger, the other Ferrari, sandwiching Likitu. Let's see if that all changes though, as it very much might as we enter the final minute of the qualifying session. Across the line goes Larkin, and it's going to be third, very, very fast. And I said it might change. There it has, with a 1:42.907. Slightly faster than Simsy Danger, but it's enough to get ahead of him. Let's see if Simsy retaliates. He's currently on a hot lap there in Sector 2. Verstappen going kind of slowly there. I think just letting other drivers on potentially hot laps through. But we'll go down to Simsy Danger because he's heading through Blanchimont now towards the chicane, as it's called, but obviously it is the bus stop chicane due to just how much slower it is than the rest of the track, apart from La Source you could say. But yeah, that section of track there is definitely the slowest on the circuit. The rest is very fast paced, keep you on your toes. And there goes Simsy Danger with provisional pole, 1:42.6. Let's see how the other drivers retaliate. Sem just behind him, I think he's starting his lap now. Likitu is currently in Sector 1 going through Les Combes. Elsewhere on track is Kvyat Campbell and Kvyat Camblage. Camblage is ahead though. He's on a hot lap, I do believe. Yes, he is coming towards the line. The checkered flag is being waved. Justice there with a 1:42.8 actually, so he's moved up. Kvyat Camblage with a 1:42.9. That's going to put him in 6th, just ahead of Verstappen. Niels Varsa is actually out of the session there. Not quite sure what happened to him. But anyway, here comes Kvyat Campbell. Across the line, it's going to be a 1:42.7, putting him ahead of Likitu and behind Sem. Likitu then, he'll be looking to retaliate, but not quite yet. He's still in Sector 2. Sector 3 are Spaghetti Chips and Matty. Matty across the line here. Currently in 11th, he's going to move up to 6th with a 1:42.8, so very, very close. We'll go down to Spaghetti Chips then. Heading through Blanchimont. In fact, he's on DRS mode 0, so he's not on a lap actually. King David yet to set a lap time, heading through Blanchimont now. Welcome Philip to the stream. Yeah, but here comes King David towards the line. It should be interesting what he can get here. Likitu actually there, taking provisional pole with a 1:42.4. We'll have to have a look and see how Cindy Danger and Sem retaliate to that lap time. Very, very fast there. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to manage it, but across the line goes King David, and he's going to stay in 17th. But Cindy Danger and Sem is going to be across the line first. And it is going to be a 1:42.3 taking provisional pole. Now we're just waiting on Sims Danger heading through the bus stop chicane. And he's going to go into the pits, actually. So there we go. That is your qualifying order. Almost a front row lockout from the Ferraris, but it just wasn't quite there. So the qualifying order, it's going to be Sem on pole position, then Lakitu, Sims Danger, Kvyat Campbell, Justice, LRT Massey, Larkin, Kern Blige, Verstappen, Mr. Skies, the Spaghetti Chips, Drop the A, J. Cole, Danina, Marcus Short and Nils Bossa, followed by King David. Of course, Marcus and Nils both retired during that session, but anyway, we can head on and let's see. No grid penalties or anything, so that's obviously ideal for the drivers. But we'll be starting the next part of the race in just a few seconds' time. Nils in the chat, I take it that's you in the game. And that would make sense, to be honest. But let's get ready to race here at the Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps in the Ardennes Forest of Belgium. The drivers will be finalising their setups and strategies. Looks like I've got quite a big Nils following going on in the chat there. Not going to knock it though. Let's hope we get some interesting racing from Nils then. Obviously, hopefully interesting in the way of racing and not racing, as in crashing. But don't want to jinx anything too soon, so we're just gonna touch wood there, and my microphone is about to fall off, so just bear with me a second. That should hopefully, I don't mind. Hopefully it doesn't fall off during the race, or we'll be in a bit of a pickle. But no, it should be fine for the rest of the evening. But here we go. The formation lap is about to start now. The lights go out, and not entirely sure what's going on there. Yeah, I don't think that's meant to happen, but we'll just get our track map up. We'll get our interval broadcast. That should all be fine and dandy. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened there, but we'll leave you just a second. Ready to race. Sorry, I'm a bit far away from the mic. Here we go through Les Combes then. Before the start of the race, the drivers will be making sure their tyres are nice and warm, as well as their brakes actually, because La Source, a very heavy braking zone. You're going to be trying to avoid contact as much as possible through there. Might see a couple cheeky dive bombs down the middle, down the inside even, into turn 1. It's all to play for because it's flat out on the exit of turn 1 all the way to turn 6, I believe. Yeah. Flat out from the exit of turn 1 to the braking zone of turn 6. So I have to wait and see what the drivers do about that. I mean, there's a lot of opportunity. Only 22 laps here because of how long this track is. So there's all to play for. We'll be seeing the pit stops around lap 7, and I do believe 2 seconds. Yeah, everyone's starting on these soft tyres. So that is something to add. But yeah, Sem will be leading us, followed by Lakitu and Sims Danger, as I said a minute ago. So those top 3 should be very interesting to see what they can do. As of course, Lakitu is leading the championship by a second place worth of points from Sem. So it is all to play for this evening. We could see something interesting, maybe strategy playing into it. Although I think it's kind of a linear strategy here. I think everyone will be following the same path of soft to medium. Don't think there's any other option really. The one stop is definitely the best way to go. There's not really any viable option for a 2 stop. But anyway, I'll stop rambling because we are getting towards the final turn now, turn 20, before the start of this evening's Grand Prix. Lining up on the grid then. It will be Sem leading us. We'll just go down to the bottom to see where Dougie Falcons is and just waiting for him to park. Actually very close there between the top guys. Here we go. Just try and get the right camera angle. It's just sinking all of the drivers, but it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. are out, and away we go. Held for quite a while there. It looks like a good start from Sem, and there goes Sims Danger. He's going to go down the inside of Lakitu into turn 1. Can he get the position? It looks like actually Justice trying to get his nose in there, and he's done a decent job of it because he's up into third, up 2 positions there. Lakitu not having the greatest start, down 2. Behind him we've got quite a bit of a race going on because we've got nearly side by side up the hill. And that's Kiwior Campbell actually off the track there. And we've got very, very close side by side between Mr. Skies and Spaghetti Chips along the Campbell Straight as we head into Lake Com. Sorry. Very, very close. And it looks like 4 wide through Lake Com. And that's a Red Bull of Dropye the wrong way round there as we've got both Marcus Shaw and King David off the track. And that's going to be Elor Danin off as well, so really not a good start for those drivers, but who it has been a good start for, it's Sims Danger, who's currently in the lead of the race as we head towards Puon. Very, very hectic start to the race. Not good for Dropye. He's down 6 positions and he was facing the wrong way last time we were with him. That's going to cost him a fair amount of time. But looking down the order, Matty and Campbell through the next few turns, very, very close. Going to be careful of that inside curve there because it can upset the cars depending on how much they ride it. But anyway, heading through Coupe de Poule Frere or something, followed by Blanchimont now. It is extremely close, and that was a very interesting first few turns. We'll ride on board here, but I fear we may have to go up relatively soon. Yeah, we're going to go to Spaghetti Chips and Mr. Skiesy, who are going side by side here. In fact, Spaghetti Chips sounds like he lifted off just for a second there, trying to avoid contact with the Alfa Romeo, who's going to have a look down the inside of Cohen Blige, but he's not going to go for it, and that's into the pits. Straight away goes Campbell, actually, so he probably got some damage at some point during that first lap. And the leaders are very, very close. Simsy Danger then leads from Sem, and then Justice in third. Lakitu all the way down to 4th and after that start, so not exactly ideal for him. We'll have to wait and see how the rest of it plays out. Campbell, the only driver pitting actually, and we'll have a look in a minute to see which tyre he switches to, whether he stays on a set of softs or he goes onto the hards and tries to go the whole race. But there's yellow flags as King David has retired from the session. I think he's had a bit of an issue there. And that's going to be the virtual safety car on lap 2. Last week it was lap 1, now it is lap 2. And that looks like it was rally on, so we'll just have a look on board here. And apparently he's off on the right there. Not ideal for King Dave, and that's him out of the race. That's the first DNF so far. Ooh, that is very close to Niels Barsett and Dougie Falcons. I'm not sure why my throat gets so dry during this commentary, but anyway, we'll get back to the action because, well, there's not much action actually at the moment, I'll be honest. Going Matty, says Sparholt Racing. Matty not really moving anywhere after that first couple of laps, but virtual safety car, of course, won't really be benefiting anyone. It's just slowing down the pack, and it will be probably coming in. Yes, it's gone, and it is green. We'll ride on board with Sem, because Justice is right behind. It's going to be side by side as we go through the Blanchimont. Sem, it goes side by side with Simsy Danger, the 2 Ferraris, right next to each other as we head towards turn 19. Down the inside goes Simsy Danger. Can he hold on to the position from Sem? It looks like he can. He's just about done it as we go onto the straight. We've got Lakitu just behind Justice. It is a very, very close. We've got Mr. Skiesy overtaking Spaghetti Chips on the exit of turn 20. Spaghetti Chips might have a look down the inside into Lassos. Yes, he does. Can he get the position? And there's a nil contact, but Spaghetti Chips is going to have to back off and leave the position there for Mr. Skiesy. Very, very close though. Very interesting restart. It came in right on the exit of on the entrance really to Blanchimont. So we'll ride on board with Sem, who's going to have a look down the inside into Lake Com. And it looks like he's going to take the lead of the race. Can Simsy Danger get it back? No, he can't. Heading into Bruxelles then. And it looks like Sem has taken the lead of the race, with Justice definitely not far behind, keeping up the pressure. Very, very interesting though. Having a look down the order, and it's been a decent start for Dougie Falcons, who's up 6 positions really from the start of the race, so he'll be pretty chuffed with that, I expect. A couple of other drivers have made gains, a couple have made losses, such as Campbell, who's lost 13 places after that unfortunate incident on lap 1. But yeah, we've not really been getting very far without the virtual safety car having to be called out recently. I mean, last week it was lap 1, we made it to lap 2 this week, maybe it'll be lap 3 next week, we'll have to wait and see. I'll probably jinx it, and if it comes out next week on lap 3, you heard it here first. Anyway, Niels Boster is close behind Dougie Falcons, the two Mercedes. No, the Mercedes and the Haas rather. Very, very close. Couldn't be more different, to be honest. And we've got Marcus Short not far behind. He's going to be having a look at this Mercedes. This three-way battle going to be quite interesting, I reckon. We've got actually Deneen on the back of them as well. He'll be trying to make his way up the order, having lost the position from the start as Dropier goes into the pits, maybe trying to go for quite an extreme undercut. In fact, we'll have a quick look at tyres, because Campbell's gone on to the mediums, as does Dropier. I'm not sure if they'll make it to the end though. Might have to do some tyre saving effort here. So we'll have to wait and see. In fact, let's get rid of this stuff. And this is how they did it on the F1 stream. So we'll have a look as Dougie Falcons and Marcus Short having a bit of a tussle here. In fact, Dougie Falcons is in the lead actually of this little pack. But Niels Boss getting overtaken by Marcus as we headed through Les Combes. Pretty good racing from the drivers then. Through Bruxelles. And it's a little bit wide there from the Renault, but I don't think it's going to be anything too drastic. Running a little bit wide, there goes Niels Boss, but nothing too drastic as well. Gotta stop using that same word again and again. But Kvyat Verstappen is not far behind J. Cole actually. There's a 2-second gap behind him to Dougie Falcons, so he can put the pressure all the way forward and not have to worry about what's behind him. Unlike J. Cole, who's close behind Skyzy, but behind him, Verstappen is also close. So we'll just leave the onboard view there. If there are any specific telemetry stuff you'd like up, please do let me know, and I'll be sure to put it up on the screen. But Verstappen is very close behind J. Cole. Heading into turn 19, he's going to have to back off though. J. Cole actually locking up. He's outbroken himself, but into the pits goes Kvyat Verstappen, lap 5. So I was told lap 7 would be the pit window, but Spaghetti Chips there with a 1:46.6 on his tyres. That's the fastest lap so far this evening. But yeah, I was clearly misinformed by Spaghetti Chips that the pit window was 7. Although these are quite early pit stops. Probably see a few more in later laps to come. But yeah, we'll head up to the top actually, because Simsy Danger is going to have a look around the outside of Sem. No, in fact, that's Sem on Simsy Danger. I'm going to have to keep with these top two because obviously they're having a battle that we're missing out on. I apologise for that. But Les Combes, and it is Sem who's taken the lead back from Simsy Danger, having lost it to him earlier on, who lost it to Sem. That was a confusing sentence, and I apologise, but have fun trying to decipher it. You might have to rewind. Don't know, but also let me know your predictions for the top 3 at the end of the race. We're already 5 laps in. We're nearly a quarter of the way through the race. Still got a long way to go though. Do let me know your predictions in the comments. I'd love to see them. And we'll have to see how close they are to the end of the race. Marcus Short there actually in 12th. But he's close behind Dougie Falcons, although we'll have to stay with these Ferraris, of course. This battle at the top still very close. Justice keeping up actually, and holding off Lakitu at the same time. This top 4 should be quite interesting, because this is of course the battle not just for the lead but for the podium positions as well. It's not the top 3 but actually the top 4 in this pack, as I just said. I need to stop repeating myself. But yeah, this will be interesting, seeing who can get what when. And Larkin's actually catching up to Lakitu as well, as Marcus Short overtakes Dougie Falcons down the order there. We see as Justice goes into the pits on lap 5. Sorry. For some reason I thought that was Matty just pole driving into the wall. No, he was going into the pits. It's just a bit it's quite well camouflaged in the background there. But anyway, we can continue with the race. And pretty interesting up the top here. As we head along the Kemmel Straight, of course we will have DRS available. And Sem has about tripled the ERS stored up compared to Simsy Danger. As we head along the Kemmel Straight through Les Combes, he's just not quite close enough to make a move. There's yellow flags in Sector 1 though. And I think that might be Mr. Skyzy, I'm not quite sure. Or is it Marcus Short? Oh, Deneen has had a bit of an issue there on the exit of Radion, and he's in the barrier. It doesn't look like any major damage actually, but he has let the other drivers through, so he's not going to be too chuffed about that. That's put him down all the way to 16th after the work he made on the undercut. Lakitu there with a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, and that will come back to bite him because that could cost him the podium position to Larkin at some point later in the race. We'll have to wait and see. And he's actually dropping that back a little bit from these two Ferraris who are absolutely stealing the race tonight. They could get a 1-2 this evening, which would do wonders for the Constructors Championship, although I'm not quite sure where they're standing in that. We'll have a quick look. We'll have a look at the Constructors Championship. Yeah, Ferrari already leading by 37 points over McLaren. That could be increased by quite a lot if they get this 1-2 this evening. So they'll probably be quite happy about that. Deneen gets a 3-second time penalty as well. He is not having the greatest race, to be honest. It's gone from bad to worse. But we'll go down to Marcus Schott and Dougie Falkens. They're actually side by side along the towards the bus stop, actually. And yeah, this looks like quite a little tussle going on here as they both pull off into the pits of lap 7 going into lap 8 later on. Actually just starting lap 7 there. The drivers start to make their pit stop. Now we'll have to see which Ferrari calls it first because neither of them have pitted yet, and we'll have to wait and see what happens. But Simsy Danger is going to try and pull out of the slipstream of Sem into Les Combes. He's not going to be close enough to make a move, and if they have to double sack, this is not going to be good. Whoever's in the lead will gain the most from double sacking, but obviously overall will hurt the team even more because it just is not very strategic to double stack. But Kern Blige actually on RLRT Matty is going to have a look down the inside into Les Combes with the DRS and ERS activated. He's going to have to brake though, and that is Deneen again, I think, having issues. This is just not the evening for him yet, and he's done a full 360 at the top of the hill there. He's not going to be too happy about that. In fact, it's not been the greatest evening for him. So yeah, unfortunate for him to have, I think that's 2 laps in a row he's had an issue on the exit of Eau Rouge. Obviously if you're not running hard enough at rear downforce, then you're going to have quite a lot of oversteer on the exit of Radion, and it will hurt you. So it is unfortunate for him. But anyway, going up to RLRT Massey and Larkin, they're quite close actually, just 0.4 of a second separating them. Actually, this whole battle running behind them as well is quite close too. As Sem pulls into the pit first, leaving Simsy Danger to go 1 extra lap before he pits, and we'll have to see whether his tyres can hold up to that challenge. But here comes Kern Blige, who is very close behind Matty as we head towards the bus stop chicane. Down the inside goes the Red Bull on the McLaren. Can the McLaren hold off as they're side by side again on the exit? There's yellow flags in sectors 2 and 3. Not quite sure why that is, but the Red Bull being defended well there by RLRT Matty. And let's see where Sem comes out on all this. It's going to come out ahead of Justice actually, so the pit stop's obviously working out quite well for him. I'm not sure if Dougie Falkens has pitted yet. We'll have a quick look to see the intervals, and Lakitu and Justice very close there. We'll have a look at the pit stops. The top 3 have yet to pit, and down the inside goes the McLaren, actually overtaking before the braking zone even began. Obviously the DRS very, very helpful for him there. RLRT Matty down the order though, not too far behind Kern Blige, so those 2 drivers will be battling as well. The two McLaren seem to be finding themselves in quite the action as Campbell gets a time penalty there. He is currently in 10th, having pitted right at the start of the race in what can only be described as a mega undercut or an issue to a pit stop to fix damage. Could be seen as either or, probably the latter though. But anyway, heading out on the track, and I think Sem's in the danger zone of Simsy's pit stop rather. I'm not sure whether Simsy's going to be able to, I think Sem will just about overtake Simsy. We'll have to see by how much though, because this extra lap on probably some quite worn softs at this point on lap 8 is not going to be ideal, and I think everyone is going to be on the mediums after these pit stops. Is Dougie Falkens going to pit as well? It's highly likely, and by that point everyone will have pitted. Dougie Falkens doesn't actually. He goes for another lap Almost going to the halfway point on those initial tyres. Simsy Danger though, where's he going to come out in all this? He's going to come out behind Sem. Will he come out ahead of Lakitu though? Lakitu is going to move to the outside. Very close as we head through turn 2, and it could be side by side up Eau Rouge and Radion. And I think Lakitu has just about pipped Simsy Danger there. As we go along the Camel Straight though, Simsy is not going to have any of it. He's going to move to the outside of Lakitu, who gets overtaken as Justice and Lakitu touch tyres. But I think Simsy Danger is going to have the position as down the inside goes Lakitu through Lecom. Very, very close there. Can he get the position? Very nice driving from Lakitu, but Justice is going to come back for more. Lakitu does block him though and prevent that move being made as we go into Bruxelles. Bit of a lock up there from the McLaren. But yes, Simsy Danger managing to get himself up into third there. He's a second behind his teammate though for the net lead as Dougie Falcons has yet to pit. And he's still on those starting soft tyres. But yeah, very interesting and quite a hectic race so far. We'll have to see what else it has in store for us, because we're not even halfway yet. We've had a fair amount of action. QVR Campbell though, he's close behind Matty, as we've got Kern Blige very close behind Larkin as well actually, so that's something to watch out for. Then just have a quick look at this comment. Yeah, I'll get the tyres up for you right away. But I do believe, yeah, everyone's on the mediums, apart from Dougie, who's yet to pit, actually. Of course, Campbell's on some quite old mediums. He might have to pit again later on in the race. Simsy Danger, though, is catching up to Sem a fair amount. He's gained 3 to 4 tenths in about half a lap, actually, so quite quick. We've got quite the train forming behind Larkin here. As you can see, it's about 8 cars, actually, all the way down to Verstappen, or even further, depending on how far you want to look. But yeah, I'd say that's all the way down to Verstappen. We'll go up to Justice though, and Lakitu are side by side along the Camel Straight. And Lakitu is going to actually drop back, so I'm not quite sure what happened there, but Larkin is overtaken by Kern Blige. That DRS is just so powerful along such a long straight, as J. Cole gets overtakes Mr. Skyzy rather, and Matty is close behind Justice. And Drop Day is overtaken by Marcus Short as well. So yeah, quite the train going on here. I said it a moment ago, but yeah, it's definitely forming up nicely behind Kern Blige, who's about 3 seconds off Lakitu, who's in 5th actually. And this is going to hurt his championship, Lakitu, if Sem does win. We'll have to wait and see though, because Dougie Falcons will probably come into pit at the end of this lap. I'm not entirely sure though, because he's on quite a long strategy. Really running those, and Deneen is retired from the session. I think that was expected. He just had a real pig, but another virtual safety car is out, and this could help Dougie Falcons, because it means his net pit stop is going to lose less time overall, because everyone's going at a slower pace. So that will help him if he decides to pit. We'll have a quick look. But yeah, another virtual safety car. There he goes. It's actually quite good for him. He ran those softs long though. How much time was he losing, and was that beneficial to his overall race? We'll have to wait and see though. But we are still under virtual safety car. I'm not sure how long it's going to last. In fact, we'll ride on board and look at the wheel, because as soon as those flashing yellow lights turn green, that is when we have green flags. So we'll go up to Simsy Danger actually, because he'll be looking to try and get the run on Sem, although Camel Straight seems to be the main place for overtaking, and you can see he's going a little bit fast there above his delta. But yeah, the Camel Straight is just where most overtakes happen, like either along the Camel Straight, and we're green though, and it's not going to be the jump Simsy wanted. In fact, he's lost a few tenths there, although Campbell has actually got the jump on Matty. Can Matty get him back though as we head along the straight? Look how close that is between Larkin and Kern Blige as well. Very, very close. Simsy Danger has not had a good start there. He's lost a fair amount of time to his teammate who's in the lead, and I think Marcus Short might have lost a few positions there. Not exactly what he'll have been wanting. But anyway, we'll continue with the race. Yeah, that's now a gap of 1 second to Sem from Simsy Danger. So that's out of DRS range, and that is really critical for overtaking, especially around a track such as this. But anyway, heading through the exit of Blanchimont towards Blanchimont even. As we go through the Courbe de Paul Frere, I think they're called. But yeah, the track history actually is something is really interesting, to be honest, when it comes to Spa-Francorchamps, because it was originally 3 roads that were just dirt roads, and they were mainly used for motorcycles until it was re-tarmacked for safety reasons and just to improve the racing so the dirt and stuff wasn't kicked up everywhere. And then it was carried on as use in motorcycle racing. Then it became part of a car racing. It had a 24-hour race here in the 1920s, I believe, and it was the which was known as the European Grand Prix. I think it was 1924. Might be wrong there though. But yeah, it's quite a lot of history to this track. And obviously it was set up in the aftermath of World War I. But anyway, Sims Danger with the DRS, ERS and Slipstream is going to move to the outside of his teammate. Sem taking a very defensive inside line there. Heading into Les Combes. Can Sem try and pull it back? No, he can't, and that's going to give Sims Danger the lead between the Ferraris. But that might change in the next lap with only half of the race gone. We've still got a long way to go, and this ding-dong battle between the leading Ferraris is far from over as Larkin gets his overtake done on Kern Blige, who is followed closely by Kvyat Campbell. And we'll have to have a quick look at that because Campbell's tyres are about double the age of the cars in front of him, so that might have an impact on his race. We'll have to wait and see. Really revving those engines though. But Matthew as well. Yeah, this train is very interesting. We could see quite a lot of action between these drivers. Of course, as we approach the Kemmel Straight, we will go up to those top 2 drivers. But for now, we'll stay down here because I think we're in for quite a treat. We'll have to wait and see though. But yeah, we've quite a lot going on down here. Relatively out of the way of the main race, or the main race for the lead, as I should say, because there's still a championship battle to be fought here. And Spaghetti Chips really trying to get past Matty as we head into the bus stop chicane. And Campbell's actually hit the back of Kern Blige, and I think that might be some slight damage for him. Not entirely sure. We'll have a look and see if we can get a camera angle on the front of that Haas, but it doesn't look like he's heavily damaged if he is damaged. I don't think he's got any damage at all. So he's fortunate to get away from that, but it did cost him a couple tenths of a second. But of course in the train he's able to easily make that back up. Up at the top though, I think Sem is about to overtake Sims Danger as the Key 2 overtakes Justice, and that puts him up into the podium positions, which is important for the rest of the race. And Sem actually hasn't made it past Sims Danger. Heading into Les Combes though, can Spaghetti Chips overtake Matty? It doesn't look like it. But of course Larkin is not far behind Kern Blige. Sorry. I don't think I have the virus anyway. Otherwise I'd be not too pleased, I can assure you. But hopefully you're all doing well. Hopefully this race is entertaining you, because it's pretty good actually. It's going to be interesting to see who finishes where in that top 3. Because the Key 2 has got a second to make up. He could definitely do it. We've still got roughly 10 laps to go. Maybe even 9. Approaching 9 actually. So it should be quite interesting who finishes when in that top 3, and that will have quite big implications to the title. We've still got the latter half of the season to go though. We've still got another 11 races after this, I believe. Yeah, another 11 races after this. So this is the halfway point in the season, or maybe even Italy next week is more of the halfway season. Actually, I'm not sure if we have a mid-season break. Can't quite remember. But we'll head up to those top 2 because we're heading towards the Kemmel Straight flat out from here on out until obviously turn 6 through Raidillon and Eau Rouge section. And I call it the section so that people don't get all annoyed about that. But anyway, Sem pulls back into the slipstream of Sims Danger. And I think what he might be doing is trying to save fuel, just lifting off. But also, there's not much point battling there, as there are yellow flags. I think that might be Dougie Falcons having an issue. I'm not sure. He's been overtaken. But what he might be doing is waiting for that final opportunity to overtake Sims Danger. Oh no, Sem is in the lead, sorry. I do apologise. Let's go Simsy, says Wimley. Yeah, that battle from the top, sorry. It's because they're two Ferraris and they look very similar. It's hard to tell which one's where when. So obviously I have to pay a bit more attention to that later on in the race. But that is Sem, our race leader. Will he stay as the race leader though? We'll have to wait and see. Now, this is the point of the race I'd usually say the orders are settling, but it's far from it, to be honest. We've got the that train from 5th all the way down to 11th, where it is so close. And we'll go down to Lakitu and Justice, because that's the battle for 3rd, but it is still so close, as Sem gets the fastest lap with a 1:45.9, and that will be an extra point if he retains it. And of course, if he finishes in the top 10. But we'll go up to Simsy and Sem now. Heading up, ready on now. Simsy's quite far behind. It's about half a second. With the DRS though, can he hold on to it? We've got a nice angle here from Sem there. But I don't think Simsy Danger's going to do it. But Lakitu and Justice, that ding-dong battle really going ahead. And it looks like Lakitu's back out on top of those two drivers as Larkin overtakes Kern Blige, actually side by side through Lecom. And Campbell trying to capitalise on that battle, but I don't think he's going to make it quite. In fact, no, he's going to have a leg down the inside of Cohen as we go through Bruxelles now. A bit of a lock up there from the Red Bull as they go side by side into the next turn. It might be a switchback here from Campbell. He's backed off though, trying to avoid contact. Heading towards Pouon. I don't think we're going to see an attempt at a move here though, because of course Pouon is quite a difficult area to make an overtake. We will have to wait and see about that though, because we have seen some unorthodox moves in the past in this league, and I'm sure the drivers will do anything to try and move up the order, so long as it is within the bounds of the rules of the racing. As we have Spaghetti Chips here behind Matty in the Renault. Now I think we've had enough tyres. If there's anything else you'd like me to show you, do let me know and I'll get it up right away. If you want the tyres back, feel free to let me know, but I don't think we will be seeing any more pit stops for the rest of the race. We shouldn't really anyway. Maybe QVR Campbell, but for the most part is a one-stop strategy. And Simsy Danger, he's had a good run out of La Source. And towards Radion, he's going to have the slipstream, and he will have the DRS, ERS and slipstream along the Camel Straight. Is he even going to need it though? Because he is absolutely rocketing towards his teammates Ferrari. He's going to move to the outside through Lecom. Sem is going to tuck back into the slipstream, trying to minimise the amount of time lost. Now Simsy Danger is going to be trying to hold on to that position for the next 7 laps. And of course, I think we'll see a couple more overtakes between these drivers. But Campbell and Kern Blige yet again going side by side through Lecom, and Kern Blige just had to back off. Matty there overtaking Spaghetti Chips, putting Spag down into 9th. Spag is not too far behind there, as he's got J. Cole and Mr. Skyzy battling behind him. Actually, no, Verstappen even wall to wall there. Very, very nice. In fact, banging tyres. Hopefully we won't see any more vigorous contact, let's say. And we can try and escape this damage through. We've had 2 virtual safety cars, but no true safety cars, so not too bad. And we've had 2 DNFs, so that's not ideal, leaving 16 drivers, but we've had worse, I'll be honest. And of course, Dougie Falcons, who joined, I believe, during the qualifying session, he's had not had the greatest race. I think he's had a couple of issues here and there. He's down behind Niels by about 33 seconds. So we'll have a quick look at stops. Yeah, he's the only driver to have done 2 stops for now. We'll have to wait and see if Campbell does them though, because of course he pitted on lap 1, and if he does pit, it'll be probably this lap, otherwise there's not much point. But yeah, he had to pit on lap 1 as a result of some damage. But yeah, Spaghetti Chips, Simsy Danger's rather pulling away from Sem, although the DRS will help close that gap. I'm not sure if Simsy is going to be pulling away. Of course, his tyres are 1 lap fresher than Sem's. As Dropye goes into the pit, and maybe for damage, I'm not entirely sure why he's had to pit. But Justice is quite close behind Lakitu. We'll have to wait and see who comes out on top of here, because of course these are battling for the podium position, which they've been doing pretty much the whole race actually. So we'll have to await the end of the race. I keep saying wait and see. We'll have to find out who comes out on top out of these couple of drivers, because it is right now the battle for first and second, but there's also the battle for third and fourth, and then also the battle for sixth downwards behind that. So pretty much the battle for the points actually, because J. Cole, who's right at the back of that train, but only just, he's out of the points, whereas all the other drivers are within the points. And in fact, Campbell is not far behind Larkin. He's kind of dropped back from that battle at the front to fifth. He might be able to hold off on it though. He's got a relatively long distance to go while trying to hold out on it though. So we'll have to wait and see. Sorry. We'll have to watch how that turns out, because it's going to be quite interesting. But Sem is actually catching up to Simsy Danger, heading towards La Source now. Obviously La Source, I think it's one of the lowest points of the track, but it's clearly the source of some kind of stream or something. In fact, it's probably not the lowest if it's the source. Probably on the highest points, obviously. I believe that Eau Rouge climbs 9 or 12 stories, that section there, Rally on Eau Rouge. But anyway, Sem is close behind Simsy Danger this lap, and he could be going for a move here. With the DRS activated, Simsy activated. Simsy, they're defending the inside, but it's going to be Sem taking the lead of the race with just 4.5 laps to go. It is interesting. I don't know who's going to come out on top out of these two Ferrari drivers. I don't think you guys know either, but we'll head down to Verstappen and Co, because we've got a bit of a battle going on from Matty down to J. Cole. As Matty gets a 3-second time penalty, I've forgotten about that. Lakitu has a 3-second time penalty, doesn't hit. Spaghetti Chips goes down the inside through Bruxelles. Daigie Falcons with a 1:45.6. It's the fastest lap so far, but he's not in the top 10, so I don't think it's going to be the best. But there goes Spaghetti Chips down the inside through Pouon. I said earlier we probably wouldn't be seeing any moves there. There goes Sprag proving me wrong, as he's got Matty right up his chuff, who is not letting him go as we go through campus. But good move there from Spaghetti Chips. We've got to give it to him. Very brave to go for it through Pouon, but he has pulled it off actually, quite surprisingly, and he looks like he's going to be holding on to it for now. Can he hold on to it for the rest of the race? We'll have to wait and see, but yeah, very interesting moves there. And Verstappen, close behind Matty, has dropped there, gets a 3-second time penalty. Don't think that's going to affect him too much. And down the inside goes Verstappen into turn 19. It's towards the end of the race, but the racing has far from finished, as you can tell by these drivers fighting tooth and nail for positions here. Into La Source goes the inside. Verstappen again on Matty. Can he get it on the exit though? They're going to be side by side as he head through turn 2. Matty's just got the traction, obviously, with the wider line. It's helped him there, but he's actually riding right up the chuff of Spaghetti Chips. He's going to pull to the outside as we head towards Les Combes. Very close, and the DRS has actually benefited him there. Can Spaghetti Chips lose 2 positions, because Verstappen is going to have a lick down the inside into Les Combes, but it's going to be a defence there from Spaghetti Chips, just about out-braking the Alfa Romeo and holding on to that position. Sem managed to defend there as well from Simsy Danger along the straight, but I think we'll give the other guys a bit further above these some love here, because Larkin and Campbell are also very close. And Larkin actually losing that position. As I said, he needed to defend, but he might be able to regain it before the end of the race. We'll have to wait and see though. But it is all quite close up here, and we got Verstappen there with quite close actually, Larkin to Cam Lodge, as someone got a time penalty there. Didn't quite see who it was, but that should be quite interesting. And in fact, I think we have to hop up to the Ferraris actually, because they're looking quite close as we enter the final 3 laps of the race, which leaves us 21 kilometres to go this evening, or actually just underneath that. As Cam Lodge gets a 5-second time penalty for exceeding track limits, and that is going to bite him. That could cost him a fair few positions. Let's have a quick look. He's currently in 12. He's currently 12.6 seconds. That'll put him 17.5 seconds. That'll drop him out of the points if those drivers behind him don't have any penalties. But heading along the straight, here comes Simsy Danger with the DRS. He's going to pull to the outside at the very last moment as we go through Les Combes. He's going to take the lead. But it could go all the way down to the last lap along the Camel Straight between these two drivers. We will have to watch out for that as Larkin moves to the outside of QVR Campbell, who might lose 2 positions. No, he's going to defend from Cohen Bryant, but Larkin there back up into 5th position. And holding on to it for now. We'll go down to Verstappen, who's close behind Spaghetti Chips. A bit of a lag there from Marcus Short, who's in 13th. But yeah, all very, very close. Matty kind of extending a gap to Cohen Blige, or rather the other way round. That gap ahead of him getting bigger, and I don't think we'll see that close before the end of the race unless there's some major incident, which hopefully there won't be. But we all know Curse of the Commentator is something that has struck a few times in the past, as the gap from centre Simsy went to the number of the beast for a second there, 0.666. Back to the race though, instead of some demonology. Verstappen is close behind Spaghetti Chips. Not going for a move. I don't think he was quite close enough as Spag running a little bit deep into the bus stop chicane as we saw his brake disc blowing his brake discs glowing bright red as we are on the penultimate lap. And I think Sem, he will have one more chance to overtake Simsy Danger, and I do believe we're left with no choice but just to go up those top 2 in a moment's time as they head along the Camel Straight. This could be close, but QVR Campbell's going to move out to the outside of Larkin, and he's going to get the position. Can Cohen do the same thing? He's going to have a look down the inside. There's a bit of contact, but he's managed to hold it. He did have a bit of a squirrely rear there. You can see him fighting with those front tyres, just trying to keep it on. Good wheel work though to keep the car going the way he wanted actually. Anyway, going through Pouhon goes Sem behind Simsy Danger. It is definitely going to be close between these two drivers to see who comes out on top as we head towards the final lap of the race of an absolutely fantastic Grand Prix. We've had action all the way through, and it seems like these laps have just disappeared this evening. I don't know where they've gone. Feels like it's just gone straight from lap 5 to lap 21 all of a sudden. We've been kept busy the whole race, and that's been quite nice, to be honest. And I've rather enjoyed it, so yeah, we'll have to wait and see who comes out on top though, because I think if Sem gets the overtake on the Camel Straight, he might actually have the advantage here, because he will have that DRS on the Camel Straight, and that could give him the advantage in getting that position on the final lap. So we'll have to watch this, as it is the final lap of the race now. The battle for the lead is underway, and it all falls down to the Camel Straight, I believe. As there goes Sem behind Simsy Danger. He will have the DRS. He will have the ERS. Will he have the slipstream? We'll have to wait and see. Yes, he does. He's going to pull out relatively early, but Simsy Danger is going to hold on to the position. I don't want to speak too soon though, but I think that might be the lead in the bag for Simsy, because as we've seen for the most part during this race, the Camel Straight is where the overtakes happen, and right now it looks like that's where they've happened for these two drivers, especially that ding-dong battle. Heading through Pouhon, we saw Spag make a move here earlier on in the race. Will Sem try and replicate that? I don't think he will though. He's slightly too far behind. You've got to be running side by side through that last bit of the sector though. As we've got a bit of a batting going on, Spag overtakes Verstappen. He's holding on to 9th. Can he do it for the rest of the race? We'll have to wait and see. Heading through Campus though, we've got Sem behind Simsy Danger. Can it stay that way for the final sector as we head through Blanchimont for the last time this evening? It is very close. I'm actually dancing with excitement. Obviously I'm standing up, so I can't fall off my sofa anymore, unfortunately. But if I was on my sofa, I think that's what would be happening right now. But Simsy Danger heading into the bus stop chicane. for the last time this evening as yellow flags, and that's Niels Boss out of the race in the final lap. But anyway, out of turn 20 for the final time and across the line. Oh! And Sem is let through by Simsy Danger. And Simsy lets him take the lead. A little bit of team orders going on there. But, wow. I was not expecting that. As Larkin actually takes 5th, Campbell 6th, then Cohen 7th. I think there might be some teamwork there. Oh, God forbid, teamwork. But, yeah, I think that was teamwork, because obviously Sem is much further ahead in the championship than Simsy, and it would benefit him more to win, so yeah, that's Sem with the win of the Grand Prix. Very interesting. I'm looking forward to the interview then where we can discuss that. Don't know what happened to Niels actually. I think it might be terminal damage. Might have had an issue going through the Radion Eau Rouge complex. I think I probably jinxed that at the start of the race as well when everyone was supporting him, and now I feel bad. But yellow flags in sector 3, and donuts there from Dropier. Quite nice to see. Let's see where Dougie Falcons comes out. But yeah, Dropier will be the last across the line, giving us a little spectacle. He's let Dougie through actually, and he goes for one last drift across the line, and he's completely sideways there. But what a race, what a fantastic Grand Prix, and I think yeah, you should be. I'm looking forward to these interviews in a moment's time. As you bear with me for the podium celebrations, it's the 2 prancing horses on the top 2 steps today, and then the Williams taking 3rd of Justice. Wow, what a race, and definitely one that we enjoyed this evening, and I'm sure you did as well. But the finishing order, it's going to be Sem, Citizen Danger, Justice, Lakitu, Larkin, 45, QVR Campbell, Spaghetti Chips, QVR Verstappen, QVR Cohen Blige, RLRT J. Cole, RLRT Matty, Mr. Skyzy, Marcus Shaw, Dougie Falcons, and Dropier rounding off the grid. The DNS were Niels Barcer on that final lap, and then Deneen and King David. Quite a few time penalties going on there, and Spaghetti Chips getting up into 7th, I think. Quite a few people benefited from Cohen Blige's time penalties, so well done for him. But yeah, what a race. What a fantastic Grand Prix. But those top 3 were Justice, Sims Danger and Sem, after Simsy let Sem through at the end of that final lap after quite an intense battle. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the interviews about that and see what was going on there. Alright, let's just invite them. Sorry. Who are we inviting then? So it's Simsy Danger. Who is, I think, appearing offline. View profile. Just bear with me a moment while I sort this out. But yeah, let me know what you thought of that race in the comments down below as well, because it'll be interesting to hear your thoughts. But yeah, that's Sem invited, Sims Danger next. Let's send him a party invitation as well. And was it Justice as well? I'm not sure where he has gone. I'll just have to invite him through the party search for now. I'll be 2 seconds, Sam. Invite. I'm just going to invite Justice quickly. Hello. Wait, they won't be able to hear you because I've got to invite Justice. Wait. Alright then, we'll start with Sem. How did you feel about that race?
Oh yeah, it was amazing with the teamwork we did in qualifying and in the race. Yeah, our strategy was to give each other slipstream in qualifying, the last run, and yeah, we managed to get P1 and P3 in the qualifying. In the race, we were trying to get ahead of the Lakitu, which worked at start. Then we wanted to pull away, but it didn't work out the first stint, and the second stint it did. So yeah, we just gave each other slipstream and DRS, and yeah, create a gap behind.
Nice. And I'm just going to ask, was it the plan for you to win?
Yes, it was.
Yes.
All right then. We'll go down then to Simsy. How do you feel about that?
I'm actually pretty happy, even though I did a Barrichello basically, but I'm totally fine as I really didn't have the pace to keep Lakitu behind in the first stint, and it was really close at the pit exit, because I just saw both Lakitu and Justices going into the pits 2 laps earlier than I thought. So yeah, it was okay. And yeah, as Sam already told you, we just planned on doing the slipstream in the last quali run, just to maximize our pace. It's pretty obvious in Belgium and Monza, even in real life Formula 1. And yeah, then in the race, we actually didn't really talk about it too much beforehand, but at least I saw that I didn't have the pace really to keep up with Sam, so I told him, yeah, just slow down a bit and give me DRS to defend from Lakitu and Justices. So we just swapped positions and saved our ERS and pulled away as a team, which is also brilliant for the constructors.
Yeah, I must say it was good teamwork then, and it obviously worked because you pulled away a fair bit. I'm not sure if Justice has joined. I don't think he has. No, I'm not sure he will join.
No.
But
yeah, it's a bit. Just want to say that's a bit sorry for a bit weird for the stream, basically, to just swap positions in the lead tactically, but that's racing, and I'm totally fine with it. I'm not a number 2 driver in that case. I just helped Sam in the championship, as he's been so unlucky this season so far. So, and I'm not in the championship fight anymore, so I'm totally fine with it. I just go for race wins, and if I didn't have the pace to defend from behind without Sam, that's no drama to let him through.
yeah, fair enough. It made for an interesting race. If there's anything else you guys want to say?
On to Monza.
On to Monza. Right then. I think we'll end the stream there. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.